Hi, everyone, and welcome to Summer Times. I'm Paul McGee.
And I'm Kathy Hicks.
Now, what we're going to do each and every week is join you for half an hour to bring you up to date on some of the activities in the community, and we'll have some interviews from entertainment and some of the activities that are going on in our province, Newfoundland and Labrador, this summer. And Kathy, we should mention what's coming up on this week's show. We're going to have Lisa Moores by in just a few minutes to talk about the Walk for the Cure around Kitty Vitty Lake. Which is always a good sign that spring is here. Absolutely.
And summer's on the way. The walkathons happen. Also, we're going to hear tonight from Barry Boesfield. Barry is the Director of Tourism for the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. They, of course, are in the throes of promoting this province to our visitors abroad. And we have some wonderful music from Robyn Sears. You may recognize Robyn Sears, as many people have called her the Pride of Mount Pearl. She's been singing for many, many years, and we're going to get a sneak peek at some video footage that she's had from many years ago when she was 9 years old, and she was a star of Skipper and Company. So we're going to find out. It's kind of like where they are now, but it's what they were doing then, I guess, is what we'll look at. So Robyn Sears will be here tonight as well. And at the end of the show, also a community calendar. We'll take a look at some of the events that are coming up in the next few weeks. Now, just before we get started, since this is our very first show, I came across this today, and I wanted to share this with you. This is Jerry Seinfeld. And what he gets... We're sharing already.
Yeah, we're sharing. This is what Jerry Seinfeld, you see, gets in his dressing room before each show.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I want to know.
Right. He demands that he has 18 bottles of water on
18.
Ice.
And he drinks it all.
I don't know if he drinks it all. I think he just wants it.
He just wants it there.
He has one bag of gold pretzels, one veggie tray that feeds 4, one small jar of mayo, and one small amount of pasta salad without mayo.
Well, I still can't get past the 18 bottles of water, but then again, you see the veggie tray for four people, that doesn't even divide into 18, so someone is either out or he eats a lot.
I just wanted to bring it up because we got...
What do we get in our dressing room? What did you get? Did you get what I got in my dressing room? There was a toilet there.
Yes.
There was a mirror.
Yes.
Did you have a mirror?
Yes, I have this new state-of-the-art thing. You don't have to use your hands to get paper.
Oh, what is that? You don't have to use your hands to get
paper dispenser of some sort. Yeah.
Oh, the hairdryer thing. Oh, no, it just comes paper comes out of it.
Oh, the hairdryer is great. It's mounted right in the wall. Kills your back when you bend down to use it, but it's really good.
So far, your dressing room is like mine. Let's see. Okay, what's different about mine? The sign on the door. Now, I have a sign this big on my door, this big square. Mine says... ladies only. Okay, mine says men's. Mine's a ladies' room. What's yours?
All right, we're kidding around. Now let's move on to our very first interview. Lisa Moores is with us, and Lisa is going to talk a little bit about the Walk for the Cure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Sunday, June 21st is the date, and we're going to take a walk around Kitty Vitty Lake. It's for juvenile diabetes. How many are affected in Canada?
About 2.25 million people are affected with diabetes in general. Juvenile diabetes is also called type 1, and it's a type where the body produces no more insulin whatsoever, so it's slightly different. But the money we raise goes towards the cure for diabetes and all its complications in general.
Now, you've had some wonderful cooperation, I know, from the Legion, for instance, in Pleasantville, which is where we're going to meet.
Yes, absolutely. We'll start off at the Royal Canadian Legion, which is on the boulevard right next to Kitty Vitty Lake. We'll go around the lake, a nice leisurely family walk. It's not a competitive kind of thing. And we'll come back to the Legion again. We'll have tons of refreshments, free barbecue there, entertainment, a kids' activity center, and lots of fun.
Is this the first time we've done the walk here?
No, it's the second time we did it. Last year was our first year in St. John's, and it was an amazing success, far better than anyone ever thought it would. And this year we just can't wait to do it again.
Now, juvenile diabetes is something we don't think a lot about. We think of a lot of people we all know with diabetes, you know, carry the warning chains and the tags and bracelets and whatnot, but children we don't think of at all.
Well, it's surprising how few people realize the number of children who are affected with this disease, and it is a staggering number and growing all the time. There are kids that are as young as a few months old, toddler age, that are affected with this disease. And you can imagine how difficult that is on a family, because it is the kind of disease there's no vacation from it. It's every single day of your entire life you have to take care of yourself to avoid those complications.
Why is it, why are the numbers increasing so much? Do they know?
We really don't know. That's why research is so important, to really figure out what this disease is all about, what is causing it, how can we find a cure for it, and how can we cure the complications. The key to all of those questions is in the research dollars.
And has it been nailed down to any one thing like lifestyle, or is it just genetic?
It's probably a number of factors. It's unlikely that it's a single factor, but it's probably a number for both juvenile and adult onset diabetes.
Right, and they're very distinct, these two diseases, right?
Well, there are similarities in that, that many of the complications that people suffer from, can be similar. It's just a matter of, is your body producing no insulin whatsoever, or is it still producing some, but just not enough for the body to function on anymore?
Right. I actually have a good friend with juvenile diabetes, but he now is 38 years old, and he was diagnosed when he was 17 years old. And it's interesting to watch him in his life, because exercise is so important in eating, and it becomes, a daily routine to really be conscious of that. But he is on 4 needles a day, and my first impression when I heard that was, oh my heavens, 4 needles a day. But this can be a good thing as well.
There can be up to 6 needles a day. Whatever gives you the best control tends to be what people will decide on with the help of their doctors, obviously, depending on their individual case. But it is an everyday kind of disease. You just cannot take a break from it ever.
Right.
So, and there are a number of, small children. Our junior spokesperson, Kayla, who's actually also my sister, is 10 now and was diagnosed at 18 months. So it's not infrequent for this to affect very, very young children.
Very young children, sure. Now this walk, how many people are going on this walk?
We'll have over 1,000 people joining us on that day, both pledged walkers, and we encourage people to bring along their families, their kids, their dogs if they want to, nieces and nephews. It's a family event, so our pledged walkers will be bringing some other walkers along with them as well.
And on a Sunday, so many people walk the lake. You might as well do it for a wonderful cause.
And it's Father's Day, and I can't think of a better Father's Day gift to so many of the fathers that we talk to every day.
So to get a pledge sheet, Lisa, it's not too late. You have a phone number?
Absolutely not. They can call anytime, day or in the evening, and let us know where they want those pledge forms sent out to.
Okay,
How much
there's
do you
prizes
expect?
too for fundraising, if I understand.
Absolutely. There are lots of incentive prizes that are listed on it. As well, we have a number of draw prizes that are just drawn for randomly on that day. It's a really fun day.
Yahoo, prizes. How much do you expect to raise?
Our goal is $60,000 in pledged walker revenue, and it looks like we're very much in line for that goal.
We're glad you came by, and you brought us gifts.
Absolutely. Official limited edition Walk for the Cure t-shirts. Just showing that we're walking
hold this
to
up so
cure.
everybody can take a wonderful look at that.
We're walking to cure diabetes, and that's what we're all about. All the money raised from this walk will be going towards diabetes research into a cure and a cure for complications as well.
Well, thanks for coming by, and good luck. I'll see you down around the lake that day.
Great, thanks.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Lisa.
We'll be right back with Barry Boesfield talking about tourism in Newfoundland and Labrador right after this. Welcome back to Summertime. I'm Paul McGee.
And I'm Kathy Hicks. And summertime, of course, spelled T-Y-M-E. The Newfoundland T-Y-M-E for a real good time in the summertime. We are in the midst of tourism season, apparently. If you look outside and see the weather, of course, it gets kind of confusing around here. It's rain, and then it's snow, and then the sun is back again. But it's prime time for tourism officials in this province to be, rattling all the chains of potential visitors all across the country and, in fact, around the world to help us get some sense of what we can expect this summer around the province. We are joined tonight by Barry Boesfield. Barry is the Director of Tourism for the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is going to be an exciting summer for us. I'm amazed how many people seem to be coming this year. I think the Matthews carried over, Barry.
It's the Cabot breakthrough, the Cabot echo. It's the momentum's just building. The awareness was created last year, and now we're seeing the benefits.
The echo, how loud is this echo? To what extent are the benefits coming our way?
Well, last year we had an additional 70,000 people, which translated into about $36 to $40 million in extra revenue that we'd get. So, but the big thing was the awareness it created across the country. Martha Stewart was here, Bert Wolfe, National Geographic, Trailside, so you can't buy that kind of publicity.
And so what's happening within the tourism offices, though, Barry? Are the phones ringing, lots of people inquiring,
yeah, right now it's icebergs, Titanic.
Titanic, what has that done for us?
Inquiries, we just had 100 French tourists came in on the Concours to view icebergs and Titanic related, so there's a big interest there.
And that's a spin-off I don't think we anticipated at all.
No, no.
How does it translate into numbers, though, for when we consider it a spin-off? Is it just something that we excitedly talk about, or?
Well, right now we're seeing reservations up. We're seeing tourists here earlier than we have, so our season is extending, and we hope that trend continues.
All right. Last year was Cabot 500.
Right.
What is the theme for this year? What should we? What will our banners say?
This year we have a heavy advertising campaign right now with our icons, our competitive strengths, icebergs, whales, the scenery, and our people. And that's running in our major markets of Ontario and the Maritimes. And then a resident campaign, Summer Spree.
Oh, yes, I've heard about summer. This is what you have here as well, the booklet. It's a big booklet.
Big booklet with each region featured, from the Avalon right over to Labrador. And this will be mailed to people who phone in for the 1-800 number.
And what is it? What does it tell us?
It tells you where to go, what to see, festivals, maps.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It's different from the visitor's guide?
Yeah, very, very much so.
All right.
Yeah.
And Summer Spree, this is geared to people who
Residents.
live in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Right.
To get
Which
out
is
and
our
travel.
largest market, by the way.
Is it really?
70% of the expenditures are from residents.
Is that right?
For
I always
tourism.
find it quite amazing when it comes to tourism. We're one of the few provinces where music plays such an important part, and once again we have a Celtic Connection on board this year. So many people say, I want to come and hear music.
Yeah, that's part of one of our icons, and up there with bergs and whales and birds.
Where exactly is the market now? I know it used to be, there was a lot of focus on bringing Newfoundlanders back home, you know. Is that still where the focus is?
No, our market, that's part of it. That's the VFR market is a big part of it.
VFR?
Visiting friends and relatives.
Visiting friends and relatives.
New term.
VFR.
New term.
We'll have to use that more
okay.
And but Ontario is our major market. About 37% of our visitors come from Ontario. 80% of our non-residents come from Canada, and the balance from the U.S., Europe. So Canada's a big market for us. Ontario and the Maritimes are the two.
And are we finding that it's making any difference with the dollar right now, the way it is for the American market?
Yeah, somewhat. We had an increase last year and hopefully this year, with the dollar being where it is.
Bus tours seem to be up in the last few years more than
Bus tours are up. Air's up 26% last year, and we're seeing more charter flights coming in. And cruise, that's another one that's up.
Cruises. Cruises.
Yeah.
And maybe we can just slip this in, discussions about the harbor, widening the harbor for even more cruise vessels. Is that progressing?
What I hear, that's not really my area, so.
Oh, is that right?
No.
Okay, now, the highlights for this summer, what big events?
What big event? Summer Spree.
Summer Spree.
You're here to stay right here, and that's what we hope will happen. Residents will get out, discover everything from Lansing Meadows to the Avalon to Cape Race, where the Titanic messages were sent. So, all around the province.
No Queen's visit. This no royal visits.
No. Next year, royal visits. Okay. Canada Winter Games next year. Soiree. Our 50th anniversary in 2000, the Viking Millennium. So there's lots of stuff happening.
Right. What about your budget, Dan? That's always been a big problem. Not enough money to spend.
Yeah.
Could use more.
Yeah.
And
resources, human and financial.
I once had the Minister of Tourism explain to me that the budget of the tourism department was very comparable to like Cabot College or something like that.
Well, I'll give you in perspective. Nova Scotia spends 13 times more than we do.
13 times. Why are we not spending more if it seems to be
a good question.
Where the...
No, we need to spend more. Even New Brunswick spending about 8, PEI spending about five times what we are. So.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now in a second we're going to be watching more video. This time it is video of whales singing.
Whales singing.
Have you ever heard whales singing? You've been able to can you tell us a little bit about this video?
This video was produced in January. We hope to edit it down to a 30-second commercial for next year to run in anniversary year. It's whale sounds put to O Canada.
Wow, how amazing.
And what's the response been to this abroad?
Phenomenal.
As in, can't believe it could happen, or I want to come and see whales sing.
And the nice thing is, it's using our competitive advantage. Whales, we have more whales here than anybody, and we hope to do it with icebergs and all our USPs, universal selling propositions.
Well, Barry, we thank you for coming by and joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And now that we know about the visitors and friends from away,
Yes.
which in my house are just known as freeloaders, it's just relatives from away, we're going to take a look at the whale footage, and we wish you a successful summer. We'll
Thank
all
you.
be doing our part, picking up the phone and asking friends and neighbors to come and spend some time with us. Robyn Sears is another guest for summertime this week, and we'll be back with Robyn right after we take a look at the whale video.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of Newfoundland and Labrador joining Canada. And for the occasion, we'll be inviting all of Canada to join us for a year-long party. Soiree 99. It promises to be a pretty spectacular blowout.
Now then, how lucky are we to have our whales singing like this? I bet whales, nowhere else in the world sing like that, do they?
Fascinating, and in pitch.
Perfect
pitch.
Talk about perfect pitch. We're going to go from whales to human singing now. We have in the studio with us Robyn Sears. Many people know Robyn Sears in and around the St. John's area. Robyn is from Mount Pearl, and she was long known as the pride of Mount Pearl, and that's what we told you earlier. Robyn, welcome to the show tonight.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are on the very first show of Summertime on Cable 9.
Wow, fabulous.
Robyn, many of us have heard you singing around town. In a few minutes, we're going to look at you singing when you were 9 years old.
Yes.
And also, just recently, with the Mount Pearl Focus on Youth Awards, that we'll get to see some video with your voice, hearing, how you've changed, I guess, over the years. But many people do know you from Skipper and Company those days.
Yeah. I get a lot, actually. When I'm out, sometimes people will come and say, "Are you Robyn Sears, the girl who sings?" Yeah, that's me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They still recognize you?
Yes.
And you've been continuing to sing, obviously, since that time.
Yep, since I'm young. I keep doing it now, and I'm going to Sheridan Musical Theatre School in September in Toronto to pursue it. Yeah, it's a 3-year program, so I'm really excited.
So does that mean you've got your eye on the Broadway stage? Paul does as well, but I think you may have more of a chance.
Yes, I do, actually. I hope to conquer it and be great, I hope.
Those are always like tough choices, I guess, for singers. Do you go to Broadway? Do you focus on the stage? Do you get into opera? Because you've done a lot of classical music.
I've studied classical. That's mainly what I've studied, and a little bit of folk, and not really so much jazz, and probably a little bit of rock and stuff, but mostly classical. I've been performing mostly, So.
Right.
With the musical theater, I think it's a change, and you kind of get to live different characters that you wouldn't get to do with the classical,
Right, you supposed to get to really sing out there, don't you, on the stage?
Although I guess classical you really get to sing out, but musical theater you kind of get to ranch a little bit,
Where have you been singing over the last couple of years? I know that you were in Scrooge. It was a Christmas production, main stage production.
Yeah, and we did one at the School for the Deaf recently in February.
Closer than ever.
Closer than ever, yeah.
You were fabulous in that. I saw that one as well.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful four-person show.
Yes,
Yeah.
four-person, yep.
And
And it was
that's-
really hard singing. It was fabulous.
Why was it so hard?
The music, the four parts was very difficult to learn, and it was all music, so there was no acting, so you really had to concentrate on the music aspect of it instead of, kind of, well, if I fool that up a little bit, I can do it with my acting type of thing. It was all voice, so.
I want to see this 9-year-old video.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
Have we got the 9-year-old video? Okay, let's go to this. I have to see. This is from Skipper and Company, Robyn Sears.
He may be pouring her coffee. She may be straightening his tie. Maybe in a house all hidden by a hill. He's sitting playing piano. She's sitting paying a bill. Betcha they're young, betcha they're smart. Bet they collect things like ashtrays and art. Betcha they're good, why shouldn't they be? Their one mistake was giving up me. So maybe now it's time, and maybe when I wake, they'll be there calling me baby, baby. Betcha he reads, betcha she sews. Maybe she's made me a closet of clothes. Maybe they're strict, as straight as a line. Don't really care as long as they're mine. So maybe now this press, the last one of its kind. Won't you please come get your baby, baby?
What's your favorite song from all the musicals?
Oh, well, actually, I haven't heard all the musicals, but the ones that I've heard so far, I think would have to be God on High from Les Mis, the male,
yeah.
I'm not sure what the name of it is, but the male solo, my favorite.
That
favorite.
is Bring Him Home.
Bring Him Home, yeah.
We've seen the
that's
same
it.
show, haven't
That's
we?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably one of my favorites, I
But
think.
isn't it something you would pick a male song, a song for a male as being your favorite?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit different, yeah. I love all females, but male voices, oh, I love male voices.
So many people, of course, wanted to get into musical theater at one particular time, and you were hoping to go off to Broadway. But now it's become such a major industry. You can go off and make a career in Toronto,
It
Vancouver,
really, yeah.
Edmonton. It's amazing with all the
Yeah,
shows.
it is.
Now, you recently went to Halifax as well with the
Yeah.
Quintessential Vocal Ensemble.
Yes.
And you obviously do choral singing.
Yes, yeah. We were there last week, actually, and what a performance. Oh, what a time. It was fabulous, fabulous. We got to sing with 90 choir members, and we did spirituals. Oh, and they were just fabulous. And Albert McNeil from California was flown up to direct us. It was a very spiritual experience. It really was beautiful, yeah.
Albert McNeil, is he a famous conductor?
Yeah,
or-
he's
okay.
he's a conductor down in California. Yeah, really well known.
Was this
He
in a church?
Yes.
You're kidding?
Yeah,
Wow,
huge
even more moving.
church. Oh, it was beautiful, and the voices just rang throughout the whole church. It was beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, and I also heard that in Halifax you caught the attention of one conductor.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Brainerd Blyden Taylor is his name, and he has a big choir up in Toronto, and he's putting together professional choir singing spirituals. And he asked me if I would be interested in doing that. Yeah.
And
We're gonna
to sing
get
with them professionally?
Yes, yeah, in Toronto.
Tremendous. We're going to see a little bit of that singing, by the way, from the Mount Pearl Youth Awards in just a second. But just before we let you go, we want to get to our community calendar this week and take a look at some of the events that are coming up here in our community, St. John's Mount Pearl, in the next little bit.
Okay, the first one is St. Bon's is going to celebrate its 140th anniversary. It's probably one of the oldest schools in the province, June 5th through to the 8th. They are requesting any memorabilia for the weekend. If you have any, please contact John for information.
And the Royal St. John's Regatta Committee will be hosting Kim Morris June 7th to 15th for a coaching series. This is for the fixed seat rowers, coaches, and coxswains. And crews should check for the details at the boathouse and, of course, be watching for our regatta coverage here on Cable 9 again this year.
And the Goulds Fire Department is going to hold the annual James Tobin Jr. Slow Pitch Tournament for muscular dystrophy. That's set for the June 12th through to the 14th. And to register, you have to call. Paul, you're involved in that too, aren't you?
We're going to be dropping out yet to pay a visit there. The Grace General Hospital School of Nursing, by the way, celebrates 73 years of educating nurses. Unfortunately, they'll be ending that in June, and so they're asking former faculty and staff to come by for celebrations June 19th to 22nd, and you can see the number there on your screen to contact. And just before we go, I do want to throw in this number one more time. This is for Lisa Moores and the Walk for the Cure for Juvenile Diabetes. And that's this week's show. We'll be back with you again next week. We're going to leave with some music by Robyn from the Mount Pearl Youth Boards. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robyn.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week, and we'll see you next week here on Cable 9 Summertime.
Good night.
Paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise and they put up a parking lot. Shoo bop 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 bop, shoo bop bop bop. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. They charge all the people $25 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They pay paradise and they put up a parking lot. Shoo bop 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 bop, shoo bop bop bop. Hey farmer, farmer, put away your DDT now. You give me spots on my apples, leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got to